Laughing at the Christmas lights you remember from December. We're talking Christmas songs by The Cure. Hit it. It was the 1980s. Hair was big, jeans were acid washed, and The Cure sang about Christmas in all their songs. I'm your host, Jerry D, with another episode of Totally Rad Christmas, the podcast that talks all things Christmas in the 80s, toys, movies, specials, music, and fads. If it was gnarly during Christmas in the 80s, we got it covered. Now, joining me is a Totally Rad Christmas all-star. You'll know him from After Lunch. It's Michael May. Michael, how's it going?
Hey, you. Yes, you.
That's brilliant.
How are you? I'm doing good. I'm very excited about this topic.
Yeah, this is a good one. I've been wanting to cover this one for a few years, and things just kept going sideways. But I'm glad you're here with me to talk The Cure. It's a great band. Talk about hard to categorize, right? I mean, they're a little bit of everything, and we'll get into it a little bit later. Now, we're here to talk about The Cure. Before we do that, just like Carol Kane did to Bill Murray and Scrooged, I want you to hit me with the toaster, okay? So I'm going to ask you some questions and just hit me with the first answer that you can come up with. You don't have to think too hard about it. So,
all right.
Let's say The Cure and Electric Mayhem are playing a Christmas concert together. Which Christmas song are they playing together on stage?
Oh my gosh. I mean, first thing that came to mind was just the Electric Mayhem classic Run Run Rudolph, right?
Yeah. I think they'd rock that for sure.
Right, yeah, I think The Cure would add a lot to that song.
And you know what? I'd go see that concert. That sounds like that's a dope
match
show.
Made in heaven, yes.
Agreed. All right, that's good. Okay, what would you title a Christmas movie starring Robert Smith?
Oh boy. I feel like it's got to be based on one of their lyrics, right? Laughing at the Christmas lights. That's pretty long.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Or You Remember from December? That was I don't know.
That one would work too. I feel like both of those would be Hallmark movie worthy.
Right? Yeah. Robert Smith in a Hallmark movie would be fantastic.
He's like it'd be funny if they cast him as the role of the workaholic, and he has to go back home.
He's the big city guy that comes to the small town. Yeah,
that's right. I'm in. I'm all in.
Yep.
All right. And finally, which 80s movie character is most likely to listen to The Cure?
Oh, wow. Oh, I kind of want to give this some thought. 80s movie character, Ali Sheedy in Breakfast Club, Allison.
Oh, I think you're right. That's a really, really good choice. I was trying to figure it out, and for a while I landed on, and I couldn't remember his name, the Jim Carrey's character in the vampire movie, Once Bitten.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I thought maybe he might, but then I thought, no, that's a terrible choice. But wow, you nailed it. She totally would.
Yeah.
Well, that's just a way for our listeners to get to know you a little bit better. So thank you for that.
Awesome.
Now, today, as I mentioned, we're here to talk about The Cure. Specifically, several of their songs that deal with Christmas. What do you remember about The Cure? What's your history or experience with them?
So the first song that I ever heard from them was "Why Can't I Be You?" Off "Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me."
Yeah.
What was that? 88? I forget when that album came out. It
was 87, 88 around there.
Yeah. And it was the music video was what really grabbed me. It's just a really fun music video. I don't know if you remember it, but they're all kind of in these weird Halloween costumes. Robert Smith's wearing a teddy bear costume, but without a head on it. It's just a furry kind of costume, and they're just dancing around having a great time, and the song is super catchy, and I was like, who are these guys? This is awesome. And so right. I bought that album. It's a double album. It is spoilers, that's my favorite Cure album still to this day. It's a double album and every single song is great on it.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of like started exploring their discography from there. I turned both my brothers onto it. My youngest brother, I should say, was in high school at the time, and he really glommed onto these guys and became like a mega fan of them. And so he
Nice.
actually was like showing me bootlegs and interviews and stuff with the
Wow.
band, and he was hardcore into The Cure. So yeah, then I just kind of kept up with them ever since. But yeah,
Hmm.
I love this band.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit different. So I knew of them. I remembered them. Love Song is it's amazing.
Hmm.
I was more familiar with their later hits, like from 87 through, 92, culminating in
Hmm.
Friday I'm in Love. I remember those videos. I was never super into them. I was more into like Michael Jackson, Prince, Madonna, Genesis,
Hmm.
the main, well, more mainstream. But in college, I really started listening to them when a buddy of mine was really into them. And, in the
Yeah,
dorms, you'd hear some things and you're like, oh, what's that
sure.
you're listening to?
Yeah.
So, explored them, went into some of their discography. And so Robert Smith himself has said that like they're hard to categorize. And we kind of mentioned it earlier, but they really are. Like their musical style is so vast and varied. And
Hmm.
you can still tell it's like them, like they have their own stamp on everything, but like they really went through a wide range of like just music, and it was really, really interesting. So I started getting into them, like I said, in college, and then from there, just kind of explored it. Other than that, I really didn't remember much about them, and I had a vague understanding of who they were, and before that. But yeah, I really dig some of their stuff. They got some cool stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they are like I kind of think about them in terms of like they have two main sounds,
Yeah,
but there's shades in between them. And there's like a spectrum, I guess. But there's like the super gothy stuff, like their second, third, and fourth albums are just really just moody kind of albums, very like throw that on a rainy day, just kind of like sit in the dark. You know,
yeah,
Disintegration is kind of like that too, and their most recent album is kind of a throwback to that. And then they have like this really poppy stuff, like Friday I'm in Love or
just like Heaven.
Just
Yeah.
like Heaven, exactly. And I mean, and I love all of it. Like that's all really fun to me. I like that they have that kind of range.
Yeah, I mean it's very unusual for most musicians to have that wide of a range, like you're saying.
Hmm.
Most of them kind of have their groove, and they kind of stick with it.
Hmm.
And,
Hmm.
or they venture out and they do it very unsuccessfully, and so then they
Sure.
go back to their groove, like
Right, right.
that seems to be pretty standard. So, it's just one of those that I like that they do everything really well.
Hmm.
And musically, I'm a musician, like they have some really cool stuff. Sometimes they'll throw in ninths on their minor chords, which is not very common in pop music.
Wow.
It's just little things like that. They'll have counter melodies they'll do, in the guitar. But really what they're known for is like their driving bass lines.
Yes.
It's like the riffs that they use, they're very ostinato like, they just kind of repeat, and it sets the tone for like the rest of the songs, I gotta
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
They're so inventive with the guitar too. Like I just love how like they're playing Love Cats and Robert Smith's guitar sounds like a cat. Or they're playing the
Right.
caterpillar and it makes his guitar sound like a caterpillar. And yeah, I don't know, he just can make his guitar sound like so many different things. And they are just like really just playful and inventive about the way that they perform music.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So the band themselves formed in Crawley, West Sussex in 76 by Robert Smith and, Lowell Tolhurst and some of
Hmm.
these other guys. And they really started turning it around in 77. They changed their name to Easy Cure, and they won a talent contest, which I didn't realize, and were signed with like a German label, and then just started producing their albums. I know in 79 they were like an opener for like Susie Sue and the Banshees.
Yeah.
So in fact, if you listen to that Il est né le divin enfant, if you watch the video by Susie and the Banshees, you'll see Robert Smith on there.
Yeah, he played with the Banshees for a while, didn't he?
He did, he sure did. Yeah. So, and it always impresses me when folks do that, like they have their own band, but then they also kind of just gig with some of these other guys over here.
Yeah.
Like, that's really cool.
Hmm. Hmm.
But yeah, then they released their first album, and history was kind of made after that. So I was talking about how to categorize them. They've been known as post-punk,
Hmm.
gothic rock, new
Right.
wave, a few different areas. And I think most folks, because of Robert Smith's like style, he's got the heavy eyeliner, the hair that's, all wild and crazy.
Right. The red lipstick.
Exactly like the lipstick. They really just like lump him in with the gothic rock.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's really restrictive.
Yeah, he's definitely they're more than that. Like they do fit that
Right.
mold. Like they are kind of like goth icons, right? But
Hmm.
but when you listen to their music, I mean, Friday I'm in Love is not a goth song in any way.
No.
I love the song, but it is the opposite of goth.
Right, exactly. Exactly. It's like the Snakepit, which we'll be talking about later. That one
Uh-huh.
I could see. That one's
Right.
definitely, yeah,
Yeah.
very moody and atmospheric and
Hmm.
but yeah, no. Some of those others, even Love Song could kind of be considered gothic rock,
Hmm.
like of their poppier stuff, but
Right.
some of the others it's like no, they just don't fit at all.
Yeah.
Now, Robert Smith himself said in an interview in Guitar Player back in '92 that he said, I think when people talk about the Cure sound, they mean songs based on six-string bass, acoustic guitar, and my voice, plus the string sound from the Selena, which is like an ARP-based synthesizer.
Mm.
And he's right. And then like they take this main like driving bass line and then they just pile synths and pile guitars on top of it. A lot of reverb in their guitar and chorus, and it works. It just really works.
Hmm.
So tonight, because The Cure never really officially released a Christmas song, although last Christmas he did tease that they were going to be releasing a Christmas song.
Oh.
And I don't know if they ever did. I didn't hear it if they did. But we're going to be talking about a few songs that they did. So the first is Merry Christmas, Everybody. Now, I sent this to you. This was actually a cover of Slade's classic song, Merry Christmas,
Hmm.
Everybody. This was done from December 9th, 1987 at Wembley Arena in London for the Kissing Tour. And this was the last song of their fourth encore.
Wow.
Yeah, right? Excuse me. Like, that's crazy. Four encores?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I think the most I'd ever seen a band do before that was like two. So, like, four is pretty something.
That's hardcore. Yeah.
And the fun thing is, this was actually an extra show that they did because they had sold out their December 6th through 8th shows.
Mm.
So, like, that's awesome to just
Yeah.
do an extra show and then still have like a whole other, four encores and then come out and do this Christmas song. So, of course, Merry Christmas, Everybody, made popular by Slade. The recording of it is not a great recording because it was done live and it seems like it wasn't really recorded through the switchboard or
Right.
anything like that. So, but I thought they did a serviceable job. You can still hear their sound on it,
Hmm.
and it still sounds like the song, the classic itself.
Yeah, it's not my favorite Cure Christmas song, but it's
Right,
fun, and it's not even my favorite cover of theirs. Like they did a cover of Jimi Hendrix Foxy Lady on their first album that is fantastic. It's just,
yes.
they really play with it a lot. And this one you're just kind of like it's them, but they're just kind of just doing the same song. But it is fun. It is like the closest thing we have to an actual Cure Christmas song.
Exactly. Right, right. Now you're right. It does feel like maybe the night before, after they did probably a fourth encore over there, they probably were like, you know what, we should play a Christmas song. What do you think?
Hmm. Hmm.
So this was actually the first and only time they recorded this song, or excuse me, they played the song live, and so it does have that feel of, well, I think I can play the chords. Let's figure it out real quick,
Yeah.
and
Right.
But they do it really well, and Robert Smith's voice is so haunting, right? It's
Hmm.
like you immediately, whenever you hear it, you can tell that it's him singing. It's slightly It has a little bit of a nasal quality to it, but also it's full-bodied in a weird way, which is contrasts with that. And it's rather high-pitched.
Right, right.
But yeah, he almost and he glides into notes, right? Like there's a lot of elision and sliding and certain things that when he sings. And you can hear him sort of bending quarter to quarter tones every once in a while as well.
Uh,
So it's a way of singing that's very soulful, I feel.
it's so paradoxically soulful, right? Because like you said, it's a very kind of like his voice is like kind of very in his head, but
Hmm.
it does have a lot of like energy and passion to it. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he pulls it off. And I don't have the I'm not a musician like you are, so I don't have the vocabulary for it, but it is remarkable like what he's able to do. And it
Hmm.
is such a unique voice, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I thought like we said, he covered the song. They did it really well, but it was kind of standard fare.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and so it wasn't really like a real Cure Christmas song like
yeah.
this next one that we're going to be talking about. So this is one that I'd like to go into much more depth.
Okay.
So this is Let's Go to Bed.
Let me take your hands, I'm shaking like milk. Turning blue all over the windows and the floors. Fires outside in the sky look as perfect as cats.
So released as a single in November of '82, it was then included on their Japanese Whispers like compilation and B-sides album, which was released in '83. This song is awesome. I love this song. This is one of my favorite Cure songs, and I know it's more poppy, and it is kind of a far cry from some of their moodier stuff.
Hmm.
And it was almost like the transition to some of their poppier things for me. You know, like it
Yeah.
was almost like the turning point.
It really was like in the history of the band, like they had done these three very moody albums, 17 Seconds, Faith, and Pornography.
Pornography,
And
yeah.
Pornography pretty much broke up the band. I think they were all on drugs when they made it. They were just sniping at each other. Robert Smith was like in a really dark place personally, and they were
Yeah.
just like, I don't think we can keep going. And the record company's like, well, hold on, you got to keep going because you guys sell a lot of records. So somebody at the record company came up with this brilliant idea of why don't you like just Robert Smith and Lol Tolhurst, get rid of like the band members that you guys are fighting with, and we'll just bring in studio musicians and we'll just do some singles. And this was like one of the singles that they did. And it was like a big departure for the band because like I think Tolhurst had been on drums up to that point, and
Hmm.
he's not a great drummer. He's not a great musician, period. Like even when he's doing keyboards, he's kind of playing with one finger.
Right.
Um, but they were able to get him off of drums and actually bring in like a studio drummer, which really kind of helped change their sound and kind of made their music more interesting. And so yeah, so Let's Go to Bed kind of came out of that era, which it was a huge departure for them, and really opened the door for the poppier stuff that I really like.
Right, right. Because I think that's what draws you in at first, right? It's like you get hooked on their poppier stuff, and
Hmm.
then you kind of, as you're digging further into their back catalog, that's when you can start to really appreciate some of their other stuff and see how far they've came. The
Right.
same thing kind of happened with me when I got into Metallica. I heard the Black Album first, of course,
Mm.
and then from there I started digging into like their stuff and seeing how musical they really were.
Hmm.
And so The Cure actually was for me was very much like that. You're right.
Hmm.
It's if you listen to those first three albums, it really is almost cinematic in their
Hmm.
scope, the way they compose their music. It's definitely very moody, but there's something about it that is not just as accessible as like this song here.
Right.
So let's go to bed. Yeah, like we said, Robert Smith was on drugs and he, I think, had just kind of detoxed from it and kind of wrote this song and was a little bit afraid. I think when he played it for the Suits, they were nervous that he was going to alienate all their fans.
Oh, sure. Yeah. It's quite
Which
different. It's quite different.
it's exactly. It's like when the Goo Goo Dolls transitioned, right? And they were more punk, and then all of a sudden, Iris comes out. So, the song itself, we're going to talk about these lyrics. So, it says in verse 2 specifically, it says, "You think you're tired now, but wait till 3, laughing at the Christmas lights you remember from December. All of this, then back again, another girl, another name, stay alive, stay the same. It's a stupid game."
You think you're tired now, but wait until 3. Laughing at the Christmas lights. Remember from December.
I like this because it seems that every time he talks about Christmas, it's always a metaphor for like longing or something special in particular, something magical. And sometimes he'll apply it to like the person that he's singing to, or whatever it is. And in this case, it's let's go to bed. It is kind of a very thinly veiled reference.
Yeah, he's pretty much just telling you what he wants, right?
That's right. Maybe no veil at all. It's
Yeah,
just,
I think so.
it's saran wrap. I don't know. You can see through the veil. But yeah, I mean that's what it's about, right? And so he's talking about how he's comparing them to, and this experience to, like Christmas in December, and so like how special and wonderful and magical and thrilling that is. Now the video for this, I don't know if you've seen the video,
I
but
have not. I need to.
yeah, it is funny because he's there in like his like pajamas and like a nightshirt, and there's Christmas trees there. I mean, it's a Christmassy video. So
Wow.
even though it's not like an official Christmas song, I still add it to like my 80s Christmas playlist. It's so poppy. So musically, I'll bore the audience real quick with a little bit of music theory. So it's in C minor, so it's in the minor 1 key, and it's the bass is playing their ostinato, that riff that they play over and over again for most of it. And the chords are just like a 1, then a flat 3, a 4, and a flat 7, and that just kind of cycles for most of the song, except for a couple of spots here and there. But it's a cool little funky syncopated line. And that's why I think I really, really like it, because it's just, it's like boom, boom, boom. I mean, it's just, there's a lot of octave skips and fifths and things like that as well.
Yeah, like syncopation. I know that word, and that is absolutely that's describes the song really well. Like that's what I really like about it, is just that kind of bump, 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 bump.
Yep. And then the melody is just a super simple, minor key melody. Again, the only part that I really, really like is I believe it's in the bridge when, let's see, I'm going to pull up the music here. Yeah. So it's in the bridge. It's when he says, "You wonder if it's real because it couldn't be rain." But that "wonder if it's real," he does this cool little chromatic thing where he just goes up half steps, "You wonder if it's real." And that's like super interesting because you don't get a lot of chromaticism in popular music. You just don't. So, especially in a song that's very, very diatonic like this one. So I appreciate all the cool musical stuff that they do here.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's a fun up-tempo song. We get lots of synths. I like at the end, we get the guitar just kind of hitting it with some major, some minor triads, just da-da-da, bop, bop, stuff like that. Just kind of emphasizing the action there. And it's so cool. Yeah. I like this song. I really like this song.
It's one of my faves too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really even know what else to say without analyzing and breaking it all down. But it's a simple structure, and like I said, it's mostly it's diatonic song, except for a couple of chromatics here and there, and a few pieces where it almost has what I call the Stairway to Heaven chord progression somewhere in there. So like the second time they go through the chorus, they almost, the first guitar will actually kind of go down from like a C to like a B flat to an A flat to a B flat. And so it has that effect of like Stairway to Heaven progressions. So
cool.
Yeah, it's brilliantly done. Just brilliant. Love this song. Yeah. So that's like their main Christmas song. That's the one that if you're going to put on an album, as we said, it's up tempo, it's poppy, you're going to enjoy it. There's one from 1981's Faith, Other Voices.
Whisper your name
Was this one that you listen to often?
Yeah, I love the Faith album. Like really that and 17 Seconds and Pornography. I listen to those almost as a group. Like they're almost like a trilogy
Right.
of albums. They're very I don't know, they're just again like put them on a rainy day, just like let them be background noise, just kind of like let them soak in. So yeah, I have listened to this album many times. I've listened to this song many times. I've completely forgot that it had a Christmas lyric. Oops.
Well, no, I mean it's like he sneaks them in, right? It's like
Right, right.
they're stealth Christmas songs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I feel that. This one, same. It's not a song that I remember like that just stuck out to me, but at the same time, he does also again some really cool things with it. He's when he's singing, he like doubles his melody line, he doubles his vocal, so it really sounds like there's
Hmm.
more than one voice
Right.
singing the song. It's so fantastic. This, yeah, like I mentioned, it's from 1981, it's from the Faith album. He says, "Come around at Christmas. I really have to see you. Smile at me slyly. Another festive compromise."
Hmm.
Come around at Christmas. I really have to see you. Smile at me slyly. Another festive
Yeah,
compromise.
very, very stealthily just sneaking it in. But the song itself also kind of is propulsive. It's not like some of these others that are very, very slow and what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say moody again because I've said it so many times, but basically
Right.
moody. You know,
It's
it,
hard not to say that word when you talk about these guys.
it's so true though. It's so true. Of that album, of the Faith album, do you have a particular favorite?
A favorite track?
Yeah.
Let me think. Let me think. I mean, this is one of them. And All Cats Are Gray is a good song. Primary is a good song, but I mean, this one might be my favorite. Just I like the they kind of throw in there's a it's just like these little sounds. There's like a
Yeah.
little moaning, kind of wailing kind of sound that kind of floats in and out in the background. Yeah.
Yeah, real. I mean, for real, I don't know what he does. He does all sorts of cool stuff with his guitar that I could only dream of doing. But, but again, they have the synthesizers, not as many, but you can definitely hear them on this. And yes, this wasn't the professional studio musicians on it at all.
Mm,
This was kind of them doing it, and you can tell, but also they do a pretty bang up job, I gotta say.
hmm. I
Yeah.
really dig the bass on it a lot. Like it's that driving bass that you were talking about before.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of their, I kind of mentioned it earlier. It is one of their like signatures, how you get these little bass riffs that
Hmm.
repeat. And so it reminds me of something in like 16th and 17th century music called basso continuo, which is, essentially these like just repetitive bass lines that then the harpsichord player would improvise over.
Cool.
And so you do get a lot of that just repetitiveness, but he's singing over it and it's so gloomy. I don't
Hmm.
know. Maybe
Hmm.
that's a better word than moody, but there's something about it that is not too overproduced and still feels very fresh.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. But I really enjoy. I like other voices. It's yeah, not as much. I think of the two so far, Let's Go to Bed is probably my favorite.
Yeah, yeah. Well, these are definitely like these are the two sides of the Cure, right? Like Other Voices
Right.
is like the gloomy side, the atmospheric side, and Let's Go to Bed is the pop side, and that's
Right.
yeah,
And for me, it's I have to be in the mood to hear to for some of the gloomy
yeah,
gothic kind of
right,
music. Yeah.
yeah. Not
Again,
me. I
I,
yeah, I love that stuff.
you can hear it
That's
anytime. I gotcha. I gotcha. But yeah, so other voices now. 1987 comes along.
yeah,
Kiss
it
Me, Kiss Me,
does.
Kiss Me. This was like the height, like the start of like the height of the Cure.
Hmm.
It's really from 87 to like 92, 93-ish
This
where
is
they
really
were.
their breakout album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great album, man. This is like such killer tracks on it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Well, the there's two on here that mention Christmas. one of them, and both of them again reflect their two sides that we're talking about.
Right.
It's very yin and yang almost, right?
Hmm.
Like the god Janus, from
Yeah.
Greek mythology and Roman mythology, right? It's the two sides, the two
Right.
faces. And so there's one called the Snakepit and one called Hey You, which you alluded to earlier.
Right.
So I want to talk about the Snakepit first.
Okay.
This is another one of their now this one's actually slower paced,
Hmm.
and there's like what 2.5 minutes before you ever hear vocals.
Yeah. Long intro. Yeah.
It's a super long intro. It's there's some really cool things that they do with like half steps in there. It's almost got like a Phrygian kind of sound to it. It's really interesting, like just the whole construction. But we get the bass line that is very repetitive and melodic, and but the guitars above it and then the synths above it as well, because this is that era where they just started adding synthesizer on synthesizer and guitar on guitar, and they really start to outline like almost a Phrygian mode, so where the first and second scale degrees have half steps in between them, but then there's also like a little bit of blues in there, so we get the flat fifth. It's a very well constructed song, I gotta say. And then they start to sing, and it's, I don't know if I'd consider it singing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's almost more of like a spoken word over it.
Hmm. Yeah. Like, I don't think there's a bad song on this album, but
No,
this is a
agreed.
song
Yeah.
where it is very much about the instrumental part more than the lyrics and even his voice on this particular track.
Agreed. And it's like a nice seg, right, between how beautiful you are and then Hey You.
Yeah.
which- and it is funny because Snakepit it's a long song. It's like 6 minutes or something like that. Almost 7 minutes, I think.
Almost
right?
7, yeah.
And then Hey You is so short in comparison. And while they're like polar opposites, they almost kind of really work in conjunction.
Hmm.
It's just one of those where you're like listening to it, like, all right, wait, what am I listening to? And then we get into Hey You, which is brassy and up tempo and nice little pa 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 pa. I mean, it's just really
Of course.
fun. It reminds me a lot of like Katrina and the Waves. You're walking on sunshine, or as far as like the brass goes, Oingo Boingo brass, that kind of like just in your face kind of brass section.
It is really, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, in the Snakepit, when he's kind of almost like there's a word for it in German. It's like a oh gosh, I don't remember. I'm gonna murder it, so I'm not gonna say it. But anyway,
Okay.
it's like a form of sung speech, not quite recitative, but where it's kind of like halfway between singing and halfway between talking.
Okay.
And that's kind of what this is here. And so he says, well, we're a mile under the ground, and I'm thinking that it's Christmas, and I'm kissing you hard like I've got very important business. Good rhyme. And no one knows and no one sees us because they're drinking themselves senseless. Which, if that doesn't give you like office party vibes, I don't know what does.
Right. Right.
But from there, we get into the really fun, it's Hey You, which starts off with like the drum rolls, and then bam, they get into it. We get the nice little bass line, boom, 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 and so on and
Yes.
so on. And again, we get this line, "You're the one that looks like Christmas. Come over here and, kiss me, kiss me." So it's like, okay, maybe it's not an office party, but I'm getting that, like, now we went past the drunk vibes and now we're all the way there and it's party time, I guess.
Right, right.
I don't know.
And I love Christmas as just a metaphor for like, you look good, like you look happy, you look fun, you look
Right.
like you're gonna cheer me up. Like, yeah, I want to spend some time with you. Like I think out of all of the songs that we're talking about here, like I think this is my favorite lyric. The one that looks like Christmas is a
The one
pretty
that-
cool compliment.
It really is, right? I mean,
Yeah.
hey, if someone told me that, yeah, all right, let's go. Thank you. Thank you so much. Let's do it.
Yeah.
It's really interesting because I wouldn't have thought to do that. And the
Yeah.
fact that Robert Smith did it's just fascinating to me.
Mhm.
Hey you, it's you, you the one that looks like Christmas. Come over here and kiss me, hey you. Just
Musically,
you.
it does have almost like a like Mighty Mighty Boss Tones vibe or something.
It's very, very brassy. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of brass. It sounds like they're real brass. It's very possible it was just synthesizer. There's
Right,
not
sure.
like tons of information on that particular track. So unless you found something that I didn't
Mm-mm.
find, I'm just kind of going off what I heard
Yeah.
on it.
Well, I mean, I know that Smith is very, very talented, and he plays like 800 different instruments, and it would not
Right.
surprise me if they laid down some actual horns, but it also wouldn't be surprising if they just. I think my ear is not tuned enough for it to be able to pick out a synth horn versus a real horn sometimes.
Yeah, right. And I think in the 80s it was a little easier
Yeah.
to pick them out, especially, you're thinking of like those cheap Casios.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But no, I mean, if they were going to be doing it, they wouldn't be using those cheap Casios. They would be using like Fairlights and, some of the Selena and, the ARPs and things like that.
Mm.
So I don't think, to me, it sounds like real brass is what I got to say.
Yeah.
But I love the inclusion of brass, and I love that it's like the end of that side, right? That's like the
Mhm.
closer, and it's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It gets you pumped up, and especially that coming right out of the snake pit is just very. There's such a dichotomy there, and I love the snake pit kind of like as an intro for this, and I love this as a wrap up to that side because then it's like, I cannot wait to turn this over and see what's on the other side. Like this is just, it really pumps you up and gets you ready to listen to more.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. And you're right. That double album is just phenomenal. It really is.
Yeah.
I think what does Just Like Heaven, like the next one on that.
Yes, yeah,
I think
that starts
that's
off the next side, which, whoo, boy, what a good song that is, man.
Right. Which, I mean, that, again, if you're thinking about it as like a whole, that's like a great transition, the Hey You to Just Like Heaven. So they really have a good sense of like track listings and flow, I gotta say, especially in these albums here.
Yeah.
Now, 1989 brought about Disintegration.
Yes.
And with Disintegration came Last Dance. And this is a song that I did not remember at all. I've heard this album. I don't know. I didn't remember this song. And as I was researching, I went ahead and pulled it back up and it was like, oh yeah, okay, this is vaguely familiar. But if you were to tell me Last Dance, I wouldn't have been able to like sing it for you at all. Again, I like it. It's also a little slower. It still has some of that repeating kind of bass line that we're used to. Very prominent bass, which is that signature Cure sound. But it says, "I'm so glad you remembered walking through walls in the heart of December, the blindness and happiness, the falling down laughing. But I really believe that this time was forever. But Christmas falls late now, flatter and colder and never as bright as when we used to fall."
I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad you remembered walking through walls in the heart of December. The blindness and happiness, falling down laughing. I
cat's poetic.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's just that's just like poetry, you know.
Yeah.
It's again really well done as far as lyrics go because it's like what is he talking about? And it's this like idea of Christmas being like the joy and the happiness and like the magic and it's neat.
Yeah. But something's missing from it this year,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So I don't know if they fell out of love or what happened, but man, yeah, it's a good song. What
Yeah.
was, do you know what Last Dance is about?
I mean, I feel like it's something like that. Like it begins where like the title comes from a lyric. Like, the song begins, "I'm so glad you came. I'm so glad you remembered to see how we're ending our last dance together." So it feels like it's not quite a breakup song, but like we're at the end of a relationship is what
Yeah,
it feels like to me. And so, like you thought, like, I believe that this time was forever. Like he talks a lot about the hope that he had for this relationship.
right.
Christmas being a time of hope, but Christmas falls late now and it's flatter, it's colder, it's not as bright as it used to be for us. So yeah, it's a melancholy about it. It's just there's a disappointment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now, the other thing I noticed is that this is also an era where they again stuck with really simple chords. So it's mostly A minor, E minor, G, and then there's like an F thrown in like during the refrain or bridge, whatever you want to call it. And
Hmm.
so we're in the minor one, then we go to the minor five, and then a flat seven. And like that's most of the verse, just those three chords over and over again. And then when we get to that, but older than, that whole section older than me, it's just flat six to minor five, flat six to minor five. So again, because we have that like F to E, it's very Aeolian and that half step really pulls you down. But then it's not E major, which would like really bring you to that A minor with that G sharp. It's E minor. And so it's a harder pull upwards towards that A because of the G natural. So it's haunting almost.
Yeah, it really is. It really is.
I mean, it's a good song. I didn't realize they had so much Christmas talk in their songs. It's
Right.
just,
It's a big metaphor for them. Like they really, I don't know. Like I don't know if the band just like really, he writes most of the lyrics, I think. So I don't know if Robert Smith is just a big Christmas fan or I mean, it feels like
I
that must be
mean,
the case, right?
it really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in regards to their videos, Tim Pope was kind of their director of their videos once they started getting more popular. And one thing that he said to Spin magazine was, let's see, he said that there was a playful element to their music, that they were more cinematic than people realized, and he said that side of them was always there but never brought out. And I loved this line here. He talks about Robert Smith in particular. He says, let's see, the Cure is the ultimate band for a filmmaker to work with because Robert Smith really understands the camera.
Mm,
His songs are so cinematic. I mean, on one level, there's a stupidity and humor, but beneath that, there are all his psychological obsessions and claustrophobia.
mm,
And I feel like Last Dance kind of has that claustrophobia
mm.
feel to it, especially if we're talking about the ending of the relationship
Right.
and Christmas not quite being as bright and shiny. And I think a lot of like nostalgia bloggers will kind of feel that around Christmas time, you know?
Sure.
You'll see that all over the place, like, it just doesn't really quite feel like Christmas nowadays, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this song in particular really captures that
I
that
think
mentality.
right. Yeah. The magic is not there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you could play on one of their albums, like let's say you were a guitarist or
Uh-huh.
keyboardist, just and you wanted to play on one of their albums, which album would you want to play on?
Oh my gosh. That's a hard question. 'Cause, I mean, I love just musically, I love so much of Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, but some of their stuff, like I was talking about earlier, like Love Cats and Caterpillar, was stuff around kind of like forget exactly which albums those are on, maybe like Japanese Whispers or The Top or Head on the Door. It's kind of in that time frame. But their first album, Three Imaginary Boys, has a lot of really cool, inventive, like just cool ways that the guitar is used, to simulate like water dripping out of a faucet, or
Right.
they have a really cool song called the Subway Song, which is about, it's a horror story. It's about a woman walking alone in a subway and somebody's creeping up behind her, and you hear like the voice, the I think with the drums, they do like the taps of the footsteps.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, you're right.
and
Yes.
then, but with the guitar, they do like the screeching of the train pulling into the station, which kind of turns into like almost like a woman's scream, and it's all like with the guitar. So they're just, I don't know, they do such really cool things. That's an impossible question to answer, Jerry.
I
I'm
know, I
sorry.
know. No, no, it's fine. You gotta every once in a while you gotta have a hard question.
Right.
I know what you mean because I feel like the composer in me would be really enthralled by what they do, like musically, and
Hmm.
would like to try to simulate some of these sounds and like, okay, let's put a cymbal upside down in a timpani and see if we can make it sound like rain or something.
Hmm.
But also, I feel like the rocker in me would just have more fun playing on Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me.
Sure. Right.
So,
Exactly.
so you're right. It's like which direction do I want to go? And for me, I think it just depends on mood, like what mood I'm in at the time.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, that is a hard question. I'm sorry for that, but
No, it's a great question. I'm enjoying thinking about it.
what would you say though? Here's an easier one. What would you say is like your happiest like memory or moment with The Cure?
Well, I did see them in concert, so that
Oh,
is
that's
probably
cool.
it. Yeah, during the Wish tour,
Okay. Yeah.
and we had a big group of us going. So my baby brother, who I said, I mentioned he's a much bigger Cure fan than I am,
Right.
but he was there, and his sort of girlfriend at the time was there. My dad actually went with us, so we just had a
That's
really
awesome.
cool big group that went, and it was a great show. Robert Smith is a really fun performer. He's such an introvert, but he somehow just makes it a really fun night. And so that would be, I guess, my
It's like what's the name? David Byrne, right? From
yeah.
Talking Heads. It's like you talk to them or you see them in interviews and they're very soft spoken and quiet. And
Hmm.
then all of a
Hmm.
sudden they get out there and perform and you're like, wow.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's just doing these goofy dances, and yeah.
Right. Right. I kind of get that vibe, yeah, from Robert Smith for sure. And
Mhm.
I feel that because I actually am quite introverted, but I can fake being extroverted very
Right.
well.
Same,
But,
yeah.
but if I had my druther, like if it was up to me, I would just hang out in my room by myself like all day.
Right. Yeah.
And like that's perfect. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I kind of understand that where it's like you have this big personality and energy that you want to bring out because of your passion for like this music.
Hmm.
So the fact that he could do that and be so entertaining is pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, it was probably seeing the video for Friday I'm in Love, honestly.
Yeah.
The first time I remember when they showed it on MTV, it was was it 92 or yeah, 92, I think. And it was on one of their like top 20 countdowns was like the first time I saw it. That was
Okay.
back when they used to do like top 20 countdowns. And
Right.
I remember seeing it with my brothers and be like, oh, this song is pretty fun. And you see all the eyeliner and the hair and the lipstick and you know, yeah, just good stuff. So
Hmm.
yeah, that would be mine. Now, normally at this time, we do a segment called Gag Me with the Spoon, but I don't know if I really want to sing anything tonight. The allergens have been really high over here, and I'm
Oh.
kind of struggling. So instead, I'd like to do a segment called A, 2, and D, to quote Buzz from Home Alone. So this is where we do our top three pages, or excuse me, pages, our top three of songs from The Cure. Now, they don't have to be these particular Christmas songs. They can be any songs that you'd prefer doing. But what would you say are your top three Cure songs?
Wow. So like two of them immediately sprung to mind. And then the third one, I'll just kind of pick at random almost. But for the two sides of the Cure, we got like the really kind of just moody, gloomy, atmospheric side. And then we got like the poppier side. The poppier side, definitely Just Like Heaven. I love
Yeah,
that song. It's a perfect song, and it's a perfect Cure song.
yeah,
For, for
it
the
really is.
for the moodier side, it's got to be the forest or a forest.
Oh
It's
yeah,
off of 17 seconds. It's got a great rhythm to it. It's got a great atmosphere to it. It just really feels like you're walking kind of alone in this kind of foggy forest and so then my third one, I think, let me go to something off of their first album. You know what it is? Just for the sheer ridiculousness and fun of it, their cover of Foxy Lady. Have you heard
Nice.
it?
I have heard it, yes.
Yeah, they
Yes.
do. It's weird because it's not Robert Smith even doing the vocals. And in fact, Robert Smith didn't even want it on the album, but the record company kind of just
Yeah.
stuck it on there anyway. But I'm so glad they did. It starts off very shakily, like you hear them just kind of like with the bass just kind of comes in and like Robert Smith is like criticizing Law. He's like, no, Law, no. And then at some point they bring in the guitar and he's like, this is a good intro. So they're just kind of like, it's just almost like you're listening to them kind of figure this out live.
Right.
But it's such a fun interpretation of that song. It is completely different from Jimi Hendrix's version. It's really, really cool.
This is like that era where it's like, no, you got to have a cover on your
Hmm.
album just to sell some records, Like we
Yeah.
need something that people know to draw them in and
Yeah.
yeah, because well, Joan Jett had a ton of covers as well.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, and of course Susie and the Banshee had some covers, and so I mean
Hmm.
it's just there's a lot of that kind of stuff. So that's good. So I think I for sure I would go with Love Song. It's just one of my favorite songs ever.
Really good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good, so catchy. That's one of the songs where he adds the ninth to the minor chord, which again is very jazz influence. It's not something you normally hear in in like a pop song. That's something that you'll hear very often in like a theme song for like a soap opera. So it was just really interesting to hear them do that, and then it's just simple chords and melody that's just very moving. So that one for sure. I also would have to go with Let's Go to Bed
Hmm.
because it's just the bass line gets me every time. As soon as I hear it, it's like this song rules. It's there's some of those songs where you like hear it and you just know it's a fantastic song. And this is one of them for me. I hear that like the first few notes and I'm like, yeah, I'm in. Let's have fun. Let's go do this. So that one, and then I think my third one would probably be, ooh, that's tough. Because I want to say something experimental, but I think I'd probably end up just going with Just Like Heaven also.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
hard not to pick that one.
I know. It's a great song. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah.
But G.I. Joe taught us that knowing is half the battle. What do you think the other half is?
The Cure?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that works. That works. That's better than mine. I thought if knowing's half the battle, the other half is just eyeliner.
Sure. Lipstick.
That's right. Michael, this has been a blast talking with you about The Cure. Tell me about your shows, anything you got coming up.
Yeah. So after lunch, still going strong. We just started a series on. We kind of have a couple things going. We have every month we do a Sherlock Holmes movie. We talk about a Sherlock Holmes movie, and then we like one other week of the month we do either a Fast and Furious movie or some kind of old superhero pulp movie. And then we just started doing the Predator series.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, and we're watching those kind of more or less in chronological order. So Prey was the first one we
Okay.
did. Yeah. So we a lot of movie talk, but we also do some kind of fun, just kind of goofy episodes. We did one where we it was an old nerd lunch topic called "Give That Person Some Work," where everybody brings like one of their favorite actors who hasn't acted in a long time, and we talk about the actors, but then we try to make up a movie or a story that could include all of these actors. So we do
Ooh,
kind of just fun stuff like that.
that's interesting. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's cool. What'd you think of Prey?
I love Prey. I love it more
Yeah,
the more I watch it. Yeah,
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 it's really good. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes I feel like that's one where people are really divided on. Like you either
Mhm.
really love it or you're just like, no thanks. But I think it's fantastic. I think they
Yeah.
did yeah, great script, great acting. Yeah.
Well directed. Like Dan Trachtenberg. Have you seen Killer of Killers yet?
I have not yet. No.
Yeah, so that's also a very good animated movie, and he's got another one coming out around Christmas time. So,
Oh,
which would be another live action one. So, yeah, like if this guy just wants to keep playing in the Predator world, fine with me.
right on. Definitely go check it out. Fun stuff, and it's just good topics. Great talk. So for sure,
Yeah.
check out After Lunch. This has been a lot of fun. Thanks again.
Thank you, man. I can talk about the Cure all day long. So I was super excited that you figured out a way to make them Christmassy.
And I was trying my best to like keep it short because I know I could really deep dive into the music. I was like, I can't. I don't want to alienate people and bore them to death with like all the music stuff, and because I don't really get to geek out about music theory. So like whenever I talk about it, I end up like going way overboard. So I was like, all right, I gotta stop. I gotta keep it short. But
Well,
thank you. I appreciate it.
yeah, I really enjoyed listening to like I love the idea of music theory. I don't know anything about it, but I love hearing people who are passionate about it talk about it. And I always learn something. So I did
Can it,
tonight as well.
So when I was in college, my senior year, I was taking a literature class and we had to come up with like some project. I don't even remember what it was about, but I somehow convinced the professor that I could analyze a piece of literature using music theory.
Mm.
It was the most BS thing I've ever done, but she loved it and she was
Yeah,
like, I want to, I'm starting a class on like literature and other disciplines. Can I use it? I was like, yeah, why not?
that's cool. That's
It
cool.
was so ridiculous, but talking about like certain plots were like plot points were like the five chord that sets it up and then it wants to resolve, but it doesn't. It's like a six chord and it was ridiculous,
That's awesome.
but yeah, it is fun talking about it. So thanks for bearing with me.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
But on that note, I'll end it with I don't care if Monday's blue, Tuesday's gray, and Wednesday too. Thursday, I don't care about you. It's Friday, and I'm checking us out on our social media pages, which you can find at linktree.com/totallyradchristmas. And if you're feeling like walking through walls in the heart of December, leave us a review on iTunes. It helps us reach more people and spread some rad holiday cheer. Now, don't forget to check out our merch shop on tpublic.com and our super dope website, totallyradchristmas.com. You're the one that looks like Christmas. Come over here and kiss me. Later, dudes.
See you again soon.